So you want to play the best character in the game. Chun-Li. Yes, the best character in the game. At least until Mai comes out. But put some respect on my character, man. This is my character. I love playing Chun. Chun's my character. Anyway, today we're going to be getting into a beginner Chun-Li guide. Before you click off the video and just think, oh, this is only for beginners, this video is going to be containing a lot of sauce. And as a Chun-Li main, I included a lot of like niche tech for this character. This is going to be an in-depth guide. I want to throw it out there in a way to where beginners can also understand and grasp the character. So a couple things you want to know about Chun before loading into your first match are, she is a very footsie based character. She's very strong in footsies. So footsies is basically this range. Playing in this range, she has very long range normals, which are very good. Chun's jump in, it's kind of floaty. She kind of has a floaty jump compared to other characters. So because of that, later on, you're not going to want to jump in as often, especially as your opponents get better at anti-airing, which is why I like her buttons. Her buttons are very strong buttons, very long range. Like I said, you can outrange pretty much everybody on the cast. The sacrifice of a jump being floaty and easily able to be anti-aired, I'll take that. So the buttons that I throw out the most in neutral in this footsie range, forward medium punch or back medium punch. It's the same move, back medium punch, forward medium punch, same move. Another button I'll use is crouching medium kick. Very good button. You gotta utilize the crouching medium kicks. Standing heavy punch. This button has a little bit more of a specific use, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And standing jab. Stand jab, very good button, very long range. I think it got a little bit of a nerf over time, but it's still a very good button. Now, she can also abuse game mechanics a little bit in Fireball Drive Rush. You have to charge her Fireball and you can throw a Fireball and Drive Rush. This is another good way of getting in. So if you want to do Fireball Drive Rush, you can either throw out the light or medium Fireball and follow it up with a Drive Rush, and that can lead to any conversion. But something about Chun is that she's very drive meter dependent, which means most of her offense, a lot of your combos are going to require you to use meter. So you don't want to be doing Fireball Drive Rush too much. You also want to learn how to play without using drive rushing, which is, like I said, her buttons. She has very good buttons. You can also do Fireball Drive Rush into her overhead. This is different than the other drive rush scenarios because in the other scenarios, you're able to combo your button from your fireball. But in this situation, I use the overhead to catch opponents pressing down back to block. You're able to get the overhead and then you can convert that into a combo. But this is the problem with the combo. Your drive rush combo goes drive rush overhead, standing medium punch, crouching medium punch into heavy spinning bird kick. However, I do find inconsistency with this combo because stand medium punch may whiff or crouching medium punch may whiff. So you may get the hit, you may be able to confirm into the combo, but you might drop the combo altogether just because of the range of the buttons. It's kind of weird. You want to know something kind of crazy? Like 91% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, which I think is kind of crazy. We're on the push to 1K. So if you got any sort of value out of this video, all I ask is that you drop a like in the video, a sub, and let me know if you're going to main Chun. I'll show you guys a couple of combos that I like to do off of these buttons. But for the most part, when I land a forward medium punch, I'll like to drive rush after. And also if I land a crouch medium kick, I'll like to drive rush after. It's just way easier to hit confirm instead of just landing a raw crouching medium kick and then doing a special move right after. It's very hard to hit confirm that. So if you do like a crouch medium kick into medium legs on block, that is very punishable. So that's why I like to drive rush. It gives me a little bit more time to hit confirm the button. So here I'll show you guys a couple combos that you'll want to learn. Side note, it's pretty much the same combo. If I land forward medium punch or crouching medium kick, I'll pretty much go into the same combo variation. Next, we'll be going into a couple of combos that you can get off of your standing jab or stand light punch. This is basically your light combos. Now next we're going to talk about standing heavy punch. This button, at the beginning of the video I said it has a little bit more of a specific use, and the reason for that is looking for a counter hit. Now the thing about getting a counter hit is that it gives you a couple more frames of advantage. If you want to learn a little bit about the vocabulary being used in this video, if you don't know what frame traps are, if you don't know what Oki is, if you don't know what frame advantage is, I have videos of that on the channel. Feel free to check out some of the other playlists. That will definitely help if you're trying to come up in your Street Fighter journey. So standing heavy punch is used to look for counter hits. If you can land this button in a counter hit, you will be able to confirm that into a combo. Now, let's say your opponent blocks your standing heavy punch. You can go into something called a block string. Just because your opponent blocks your button does not mean it's immediately their turn. It could be their turn, but that doesn't always mean that they can take a turn. You can do something called a spacing trap. So standing heavy punch for Chun is -3. Which means if I try to press another button immediately after and Akuma presses any button faster than what I'm pressing, he will be able to take his turn back and I will get counter hit. So let's say while I'm fighting my opponent, I notice that they like to press a button after I press my standing heavy punch. I can beat this by using a strategy called spacing trap. I can do another button that will be out of range, causing them to whiff their jab, and I will get a whiff punish. It's kind of like an automatic whiff punish. So for Chun, that is her stance, medium kick. So standing heavy punch into stance, medium kick. And as you can see, you get the punish counter, so then you can convert that into a combo ender, or extend it with a driver's combo. You have to be careful though, because if you miss space your spacing trap, you can actually get hit out of it. Now let's say you're throwing out stand heavy punch and your opponent is not pressing a button after. You can go into a block string, and that block string will be standing heavy punch, stance, light kick, and end with fireball. Now the reason you want to go into this block string is you want to look to see if you can get a hit confirm. If they block out all your pressure, you basically return back to neutral, or they'll try to take the turn back. But if they do not block, you can hit confirm the stance light kick into a combo ender. Now let's say your opponent's kind of far away, but they whiff a very punishable button or move. Either a DP, or they just whiff a button in general, or they whiff a super. I like to use standing heavy punch if I'm very far away and I can get a nice punish counter combo. Standing heavy punch is a very good button, however it does lose to DI, so that is part of the reason why you don't want to throw it out too much in neutral. Yes, it's very good. Yes, it has good block strings. Yes, there are a lot of good that come with this button, but it's also whiff punishable and it loses to DI. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about her special moves. Chun's special moves are very good, but they are also situational, meaning in certain situations you want to use certain moves. First, we'll be talking about light Hazanshu. I rarely use this move because it is -9 on block, and this distance basically makes it very punishable. So if your opponent blocks this, they will have a free punish. So I don't really like to use light Hazanshu. Medium Hazanshu, very similar. It's -3, meaning they can try to take their turn back. It also puts you at point blank range. So if you try to press any button immediately after this and they press, they'll be able to take their turn back first, but this is safe. So if you're anticipating something and you throw out medium Hazanshu and they block it, at least you're not going to get punished. But you cannot continue your offense. They're going to take their turn back. And another version of Hazanshu is heavy Hazanshu. Heavy Hazanshu, also -1, meaning if you try to press jab or something and they press jab, they'll be able to take their turn back. That's why Hazanshu is like an iffy move. If they block it, you can either get punished or they take the turn back. So you're kind of just giving away your turn for free. But what I like to use Hazanshu for is if my opponent is just brainlessly throwing fireballs, I like to use heavy Hazanshu and convert that into a punish counter combo. So it's a very specific use for Hazanshu. I use it a lot versus fireball characters, but it's only when I anticipate that they're going to throw out a fireball. You can space out medium Hazanshu like this far. And this is fine. At least you're not in throw range. You're not putting yourself in throw range. Heavy Hazanshu, you're kind of putting yourself in the throw range. So if you space out medium fine enough, you won't be in throw range. They'll press a button, most likely, but at least you won't have to guess between if they're going to press a button or throw you. Next is OD Hazanshu. Personally, I don't really use OD Hazanshu, but it's kind of like a surprise move. It's very fast, meaning your opponent may not react to it, and it costs 2 bars of drive meters. So that's another reason why I don't really use it. I'd rather use my drive meter for other things than like a surprise attack like because they could easily block this, and if they block it, then it's like, well, you kind of just wasted 2 bars of drive. But if you land OD Hazanshu, you can basically go into level 1 or level 3, or do like Tensho after, I believe. But yeah, that's pretty much how you use Hazanshu. I pretty much only use the heavy. I'll use the medium. So now we're going to be talking about Chun's legs. Pause. We're going to be talking about Chun's lightning legs and spinning bird kick. Both of these two specials are very good, and you usually tend to end your combos with either lightning legs or spinning bird kick. But let me tell you how I strategize between using the two. So if I'm in the mid screen, I'll always go for spinning bird kick. Like 90% of the time, I'll go for spinning bird kick. And the reason for that is because spinning bird kick gives you a lot of corner carry. Very good corner carry. If I do the same combo but end in legs, yes, I get the damage and basically I did a combo, but you don't really get that same corner carry. So most of the time when you do land your combos, you want to go into spinning bird kick because you as a Chun player want to get your opponent in the corner. She's very, very, very good in the corner. You'll see later in the video. Sauce. This character, very fun. I love playing this character. So if you come to me and you say, Slam, when do I use legs? Well, you can end a combo with legs if you want to do something called a frame trap. And I'll get this with people a lot. So the mind game behind this is usually when you land a special move, your opponent can then take your turn back, right? Look at Hazanshu, for example. If you throw a Hazanshu, almost in every scenario, your opponent can press a button and take their turn back. So I kind of use that same philosophy with lightning legs. If I land a combo and I end with medium legs or light legs, I can try to take my turn back because it's +3 after it hits. So this +3 right here, it basically means it's still my turn. I can continue my pressure. So a lot of people will see legs and it's like a knowledge check. They won't know to not press the button and they press and you can get another combo. So I'll show you what that looks like. First, you want to make sure your button hits. Light legs is +3. Medium legs is also +3. You'll just want to end in medium legs so you can get that extra bit of damage. On block, light legs is -8. Medium legs is also -8. So you don't want to be pressing a button after this. Your opponent can take their turn back and actually punish you for doing those legs on block, which is another reason why you don't always want to be spamming special moves in neutral. So you want to make sure you get the hit and then you can convert into a combo. But because you're still +3, you can continue your pressure and take your turn back. But let's say your opponent doesn't know this and they actually press after medium legs. I like to go into crouching medium punch and extend my combo with a driver after. So it'll look something like this. Now for heavy legs, I don't really use heavy legs a lot. You can use heavy legs if you land like a crouching heavy punch or something. The only real reason why I'll use heavy legs in mid screen on block is if I'm trying to deplete their drive gauge. So I'll do something like this. And as you can see, that took away almost 1 bar of drive meter. So if they're low on meter, I'll use heavy legs to try to attack their meter. And the reason why I use heavy legs is because it is -3, which means it's safe. So I don't have to worry about them punishing me for doing legs on block. We also have OD legs. This move can hit twice. You do the regular quarter circle forward 2 kicks to get the OD version, and then you press 2 kicks again to get the follow-up attack. All for 2 bars of meter. However, I don't really use both the hits. I don't really use this move in general. When I do use this move, I use it to cancel into supers. It combos into level 2 and to level 3, but not level 1. For spinning bird kick, you have to charge it, so you have to hold down and then you press up and any kick and you'll get one of the 3 variations for spinning bird kick: light, medium, or heavy. For most combos, you'll want to end in either heavy or medium spinning bird kick, but the spinning bird kick I want to talk about is OD spinning bird kick. This is a very good way to extend your combos. So let's say instead of ending in a regular spinning bird kick, if you do your same combo but you end in OD spinning bird kick, you get the following follow-ups. Another time when I'll use heavy legs is in Burnout. So for those of you that don't know, when your opponent is burnt out, every button you press gets an additional 4 frames of frame advantage. So if I do heavy legs now while Akuma's in Burnout, I will be +1 instead of -3. And this means I can actually continue my pressure because I can frame trap with stand jab. So let's say Akuma tries to press a button. I can counter hit him out of this. So right here, I'm going to show you the burnout loop. If your opponent's trying to press and get out of this burnout pressure, they're not going to be able to. So it's very strong if you want to get your stun combo in the corner. So I'll use medium Hazanshu. Medium Hazanshu also becomes +1 in burnout. Heavy Hazanshu becomes +3, but I found a little bit of inconsistency using this because when they crouch, you can actually side switch. If you're too close and you do heavy Hazanshu, you'll side switch and they can whiff punish you. See, so you can accidentally side switch. If you're cooking up too hard and you do this heavy Hazanshu, you'll accidentally side switch. If you do medium Hazanshu, you don't side switch unless you're way too close to them. So I find this to be a little bit more consistent. So the burnout pressure that I like to go for is stand jab, crouch medium kick, Hazanshu. And then to space them out and also be plus, I'll do the same thing, stand jab, crouch medium kick, and end with heavy legs. And then I'll just loop that pressure. So this is like my version of Chun's burnout pressure. Chun also has air legs, but you don't really want to be doing it like this, high in the sky. Chun has a variation called instant air legs, where you can do it immediately as you leave the ground. Now there is a shortcut to doing this. Normally, you jump and then input air legs. But to do this variation, you input legs first and then jump. So you do quarter circle forward, jump, and then press kicks. This has a very nice use. Some sauce, if you will. I'll include that. It'll be later on in the video, but just know this right here, you can set up for some cool stuff. And now we will be talking about the stance cancel. Serenity Stream, or stance as you'll hear it be called. A lot of people have trouble with this, and I had a lot of trouble with this as well from the start. So I'm gonna show you a couple ways you can get better at doing stance cancel. First of all, it's quarter circle back and punch. You can do it using any of the 3 punches, light, medium, or heavy punch. If you do quarter circle punch once, it'll put her in stance. And if you do it again, it'll take her out of stance. So you can do an easy stance unstance. You can also do stance and hold down or down back, and she will stay in stance as long as you hold down. And once you let go down, she will immediately stand up. If you input stance and do nothing, she will stay in stance, and after a short while, she'll automatically get out of stance herself. If you do stance and then press a button, you will get a move. So if I do stance light kick, stance medium kick, stance light punch, stance medium punch, I will get moves. Now the thing about these 4 moves is that you will be able to stay in stance after these moves. However, if you do stance heavy punch or heavy kick, they will automatically take you out of stance. Now, if you want to get better at inputting stance, I'll give you an order in how you want to practice, because this is how I practice. So first, you just want to get used to doing stance itself. You might want to practice doing stance unstance as you walk across the screen. And then you might want to switch to the other side. You want to make sure to practice this on both sides. Next, you want to get used to doing stance and then pressing a button of your choice. So whatever move that you want to do, that's what you want to practice. So let's say I want to do light kick, practice that. Maybe I want to do stance medium kick. Maybe I want to do stance light punch. You want to practice doing stance and then pressing a button. If you're fighting your opponent and you do a block string involving stance, another way to get out of stance quickly is by doing a fireball. Now the cool thing about stance canceling is that when you're in stance, you don't have to charge spinning bird kick or your fireballs. They automatically charge. All you have to do is just press the direction of the input you want to do. So for spinning bird kick, all you have to do is press down. For fireball, all you have to do is press back. What I like to do is hold down back, so I get the charge for both moves. So let's say I get the hit, I can go into spinning bird kick. If I do not get the hits, I can go into a fireball. Now another thing you want to do when you practice your stance canceling is you want to do a button and then stance cancel. This will help you get very good. So a couple of things that you can do to practice your stance cancel. You can do a heavy punch, stance light kick into heavy fireball. Or heavy punch into stance medium kick into heavy fireball. This will help you get better at your stance inputs. Trust me, it does take time. It might feel hard at first, but as your hands and your brain and your mind muscle connection all get used to inputting button, stance, button, trust me, it gets a lot easier. Don't quit on this character just because you can't do stance. It took me a long time trying to get this. Well, maybe not a long time, probably like a couple weeks, but once you play the character for so long, it'll be second nature. So easy to do. Another note, when you do stance heavy kick, you can hold up while the heavy kick animation is in motion. So stance heavy kick, hold up, you'll be able to jump cancel and immediately go up. You don't have to press up after. You can hold up or up forward. I personally like to hold up forward. Another good thing about stance cancels is that most of the buttons are actually cancelable into DI. Not all of them, but most of them are. Stance light punch, stance light kick, stance medium kick, and stance heavy punch. These buttons are cancelable into DI. The ones that are not cancelable are stance medium punch and stance heavy kick. This is very good because if you go to the block string where you end in fireball, it actually loses to DI. So if your opponent adapts to this, you can instead cancel into DI. Now we're going to talk about her supers, her level 1, level 2, and level 3. Her level 1 is kind of normal, it's just a regular special move. It pushes your opponent super far back. I would only use this if you need like a little bit more damage. Honestly, I would go for level 2 the most. I would try to save my meter more for level 2 or level 3. But if you're one combo away from winning the round and your opponent just has a little bit of health left, I will go into level 1. Now, level 2, this is the saucy combo. You can go for more things out of level 2. Whether your opponent is in the air or on the ground, you will get access to different things out of level 2. If you end in this route, you will get the most damage. I also like ending in heavy spinning bird kick, so you can also get a lot of corner carry as well. Also, for that extra bit of sauce, you can go for level 1 after level 2. Now this is, like I said, a little bit flashy. If you have a level 3, it will just be better to spend a level 3. You'll get more damage. But like I said, for cool reasons, level 2 into level 1 also works. So all of these routes work out of OD spinning bird kick, or if your opponent's on the ground. If your opponent is in the air and you land level 2, all you can do is like a heavy punch after, I believe. Level 3, very simple. I like to attack it to the end of combos. It only gets scaled down to 50%. So after a long drive rush extended combo, I like to end in level 3. You want to be careful though, because I do find that when you end in the safe jump route, you have to delay it more so you can land your level 3. If you finish the safe jump route too high, sometimes your level 3 will whiff. So this is why I like to delay it when I know for sure I'm going to go into level 3 or another super. Now we will be talking about Oki or follow-ups. I know a lot of people have trouble understanding what Oki is. I do have videos on Oki, check those out, but here's what you can do as Chun. Let's say you land a combo. All you really want to go for is standing medium punch and throw. Just mix those two things, stand medium punch and throw. Reason why is because stand medium punch can hit meaty, and if it hits meaty, you will have additional frame advantage. But let's say you mess up the meaty hit, stand medium punch is still +1, so you'll be able to continue your pressure. Also throw, you want to mix in throw, because if you're always doing standing medium punch, they're just gonna block and you're not gonna be able to really get any pressure. So you want to try to get them to throw on wake up, and if they guess wrong, you can land your standing medium punch. They block, you can land a throw. So you want to put them in that strike throw mix. Another route for Oki that you want to go for is going for the overhead. If your opponent wakes up holding down back, you'll clip them with the overhead and you'll be able to get a combo. However, there is inconsistency because sometimes standing medium punch will whiff. To stop this inconsistency, you don't want to automatically go into down forward heavy punch. You want to have the slightest delay and press down forward heavy punch, so you can get more consistent stand medium punch hits. Even if he does wake up jab, you can throw him out of it with a meaty throw. And if you want to practice these scenarios yourself, all you have to do, go to your settings, come here to reversal settings, and then select any one of these slots. Set it to light punch because these are your fastest moves for most of the character. It is a standing light punch, and you're going to want to turn that on. And boom. So now, on the wake up, they will press light punch. So that's how you can practice timing these scenarios. You'll know you did it right if you see counter hit, and you'll know you did it wrong if either you get counter hit or you get punish countered. This is the thing about crouching heavy punch. It's kind of risky, a little bit risky, but if you can get it to work, you can get it to work. Crouching heavy punch has a lot more combo damage potential. Chun doesn't really have trade combos, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish he did have trade combos, but this is why using crouching heavy punch as Oki is a little bit risky. If you space it out a little bit more, you can set it up to be a frame trap and you'll get it to work that way. So I had a little bit of a gap in my offense in order to set it up to hit meaty, and it was fine. And the thing about getting a throw in the corner is you actually get Oki off the throw. You don't get throw Oki mid-screen. Because mid-screen, if they back tech, which most of your opponents will do, they're just so far away. But in the corner, even if they back tech, you're spaced far enough to get Oki. So you can follow up that throw with a standing heavy punch. Something like that. This is something I like to do a lot because people do tend to press because Chun has no true throw loop. People like to press buttons on wake up after the throw. So that stand heavy punch, it will clip them. Another thing you could do as well is crouching heavy punch. It will also clip them. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff. Safe jumps. This is part of the reason why Chun is so fun as a character. So if you don't know what a safe jump is, I will show you. This is her first safe jump route. And it's going to be jump, stomp, stomp, or down, medium kick, into heavy punch, which is a target combo, meaning you can mash it out. Down, down, heavy punch, and then boom. You'll know you did it right if it is plus 45. See, so this is plus 46. This is very important. You want to get this consistently plus 45. Plus 45. This is what you want. This is safe jump setup. The other two safe jumps that Chun has are done in the corner. You'll know that she has a safe jump because it will be plus 45. If I do this, it will be plus 45. Or if I do this, it will be plus 45. Heavy legs into light legs gives a safe jump. Or OD spinning bird kick into medium legs gives a safe jump. Plus 45. Now, if your opponent presses on wake up, you can actually punish them. And if they do a super or invincible reversal on wake up, you'll be able to block that. And that will lead you to getting a punish combo. So we're going to have Akuma do DP, OD DP on wake up. If you do a safe jump, you can actually beat this. See, I don't get hit. If you do a regular combo and go for Oki, you will get hit. But with a safe jump, you don't get hit. So notice right there how I pressed the button. When you are doing the jump out of your safe jump, you want to hold down back. So when you jump, hold down back, and you can hold down back while you press a button. So for a safe jump, you can hold back But for Chun, I like to hold down back because I like to follow up with down medium kick. And that gives you the stomp. If you hold back, you get regular medium kick. So if you are out of the safe jump, hold down back and press your stomp, you'll be able to option select between blocking or getting the hit. So let's say instead of an ODDP, Akuma does a jab. You'll be able to counter hit him out of the jab and you'll get another turn. You really want to practice her launcher safe jump combo because it can either hit for plus 45 or plus 46. Now, if it hits when it's plus 45, Chun gets this little bounce that looks like this, and you go towards your opponent. But if your safe jump is plus 46, you will land on the ground after the stomp. So I'll show you what it's like when it's plus 46. You do the stomp and you immediately land on the ground. But when you are plus 45, you'll get the bounce, which can lead into the jumping heavy kick. So if you really want to grind that out, I say do it. It's 100% worth it because you want to know when you're going to get the bounce, because you could end up doing the plus 46 route, do your stomp, and then press stand heavy kick, and then it whiffs, and your opponent's crouching, and then you get punish countered. So it's just, you know, you want to practice it being plus 45. You don't have to worry about grinding out the other safe jump setups because they automatically set up to be plus 45 for you. Automatically plus 45. Automatically plus 45. But for your launcher safe jump setup, you really want to practice it being plus 45 or plus 46. You want it to be plus 45. I think the difference is when you do the stomp. I think that timing is what determines if you're going to get plus 45 or plus 46. I don't really know what exactly causes it to be plus 45 or plus 46. You can also do a side switch out of this safe jump. All you have to do is delay your jumping heavy punch, and then you'll be able to dash under the opponent for a side switch. And I usually like to follow up with a standing medium punch. So now that we understand how the safe jump works, I'm going to show you all the mix-ups and things that you can do off of this plus 45. So first, you can do jump nothing into throw. If your opponent is blocking, you get a free throw. Another thing you could do is jump into crouch light kick. Empty jump, crouch light kick. This will beat if they're stand blocking, if they think that you're going to hit them with the overhead or like a jump heavy kick. Or you can go into jumping heavy kick. Jump heavy kick is an overhead. So if they wake up and hold down back, you'll get an overhead and be able to convert from there. So now your opponent's mixed, right? They don't know if to block low. They don't know if to block high. They don't know if they're going to have to delay tech. But now you can utilize your stomps. As Chun, like I said, when she's plus 45, you get a stomp that bounces you towards your opponent. So basically, you can still do the 3 mix-ups, just use a stomp first. So you can go stomp into throw, you can go stomp into crouching light kick, you can go stomp into jumping heavy kick, or you can go stomp. So these are 7 different setups you can get off of getting a safe jump. This is why I say this character is so fun in the corner. Not only does she get that, but you can do stance setups. So if you get a safe jump, you can do stance, unstance, throw. And obviously this catches them if they block. Stance, unstance, crouch, light kick. Stance, unstance, stand, medium punch. And then you can do stance into heavy punch, which is an overhead. A couple more setups you can do. You can do forward heavy kick into throw, which has to be manually timed. If you combo it together, your throw will whiff. Or you can do forward heavy kick into standing medium punch. All of those are setups that you get off of being plus 45 with Chun. Your opponent has to guess crazy. Now, some corner setups that you get off of spinning bird kick is you can set up for the throw. You can do frame kill, crouch light kick, crouch light punch into throw, crouch light kick, crouch light punch into stand medium punch, crouch medium kick into throw, and crouch medium kick into standing medium punch. A lot of times too, out of stance buttons, you can actually go for a DI reset on the wall in the corner. And you can do a couple of things off of this wall splat, and they look like this. She also has very good crouch medium kick drive-rush potential. You can set up for something called a tick throw. Let's say that your opponent is blocking or playing very patiently and you want to start some pressure very quickly. You can do crouch medium kick drive-rush into tick throw and it'll look like this. Now, something players are adapting to is actually using a technique called delay tech. They're waiting to see you do a light button and then they'll delay the input for the throw, because most of the time when you see a light button, a throw has a high possibility of coming next. There are two ways to beat a delay tech. One is if you're going to go into drive rush light, you can go into standing medium punch and convert into a combo. Another thing you can do is crouch medium kick drive rush straight into the throw. So once you condition them to throw immediately after they see you drive rush, you can set up for this route. Note that if you go for this, you can either start your combo with drive rush, crouching heavy punch, or back heavy punch, and you don't need to drive rush. If you don't want to spend all the drive meter, you can also just end in heavy spinning bird kick. If you don't drive rush your back heavy punch, you'll have to end in tencho because spinning bird will not work. But if you use a drive rush, you can end in heavy spinning bird kick. Your go-to drive reversal combo will be this right here. A very good button to check a drive rush is crouching medium punch. Sometimes I also try to go for jabs, but I notice that I get counter hit out of them. I feel like crouching medium punch is just a way better button to check drive rushes with. Now, like I said, some sauce. This is going to be the saucy portion of the video. If you want to show off and you want to flex a little bit, you can do these setups. But note, you can get beat out of these setups. If your opponent presses jab, they might be able to beat you out of some of these setups. Just so you know. So you want to make sure that you have their respect and that they're actually blocking. Because if they're just pressing buttons just to press, you'll get hit out of some of these. Something that I like to do is when I get a combo, right, a big combo, you can go for an overhead reset. Because most of the time, when people are blocking, they're holding down back. So if they're holding down back, mid-combo, you can go for stance heavy punch and you'll hit them with an overhead because they're holding down back mid-combo. So you can get another combo off of that overhead. Another thing you can do is button stance unstance. As people have fought against Chun over time and got better versus Chun, they understand that after heavy punch, you can press and it'll beat the stance light kick. So the counterplay to that is to do stand heavy punch, stance unstance, wait for them to press, and then you can whiff punish them with like a forward medium punch or something. Crouch medium kick. Next is instant air legs. I like this one a lot. If your opponent wakes up and they think that you're going to throw, you can do instant air legs. It will beat their throw and you'll be able to get a punish counter combo. Another thing that Chun players do that I myself don't really do too much, but I know it's tech, it's an instant stomp, side switch. So what you do is you have to be really close to your opponents and you jump, immediately do stomp, and you can do medium kick. And this will side switch, so if they don't block immediately, they'll get hit and that'll convert you into a combo. Something I do like to do though is down forward heavy kick. So this works. I like to use it after Oki, maybe like spinning bird kick combo. I use it, I go up to my opponents, down forward heavy kick gives me a side switch. So if they're not able to react to this, you can actually get a combo off of this. However, do know if you do this a lot, they'll get used to seeing the animation and they'll start blocking it more. So that's why you really have to mix up your Oki pressure. Now, at this point in the video, I'll be showing you guys some block strings and combos that you might want to do and learn and add to your arsenal as a Chun player. If you guys like this video, like I said, all I ask is like and a sub. I also stream almost every day on Twitch. So if you're interested, feel free to head over there and drop me a follow. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this next portion of the video. Peace.